Welcome friends! I'm Dr. Rajsree Nambudripad, and today's video is all about brain fog. Brain fog is like having your head in the clouds, so your thinking is impaired. Although it's not considered a real medical diagnosis, it is a very real symptom and phenomenon. Brain fog can cause many different types of symptoms. It can cause difficulty focusing, confusion, lapses in memory, difficulty speaking clearly, low motivation, and mild depression. Brain fog is actually a very common symptom, and it affects people of all ages. It's one of the most common symptoms I hear about from patients in my practice. When a person is experiencing brain fog, they feel fuzzy-brained and kind of out of it, and their loved ones might notice that something's off. The good news is there's a lot you can do to clear the clouds away from your brain. Being able to think clearly again is like having a light bulb turn on in your brain. Stay tuned because in today's video, I'm going to explain how you can naturally clear up your brain fog and enhance your brain function using diet, lifestyle changes, and some key supplements. First, let's review what are some of the common causes of brain fog. Our brain is made out of billions of neurons with trillions of connections, and it can be affected by factors like dehydration or electrolyte abnormalities. Certain foods can cause brain fog. Infections with viruses like COVID can cause brain fog. Inflammation or gut issues like constipation or leaky gut can also cause brain fog. Exposure to toxins and pollution and nutrient deficiencies are another big cause of brain fog. Finally, your brain can also be affected by hormonal shifts, sleep deprivation, and chronic stress. Now let's look more closely at each of the common causes of brain fog. The neurons in your brain need water to function properly, so if you're dehydrated, this can definitely cause brain fog. If you're sweating a lot, you're losing minerals, and this can cause electrolyte abnormalities. This is why it can be helpful to drink water with electrolyte powder, which has minerals like sodium, potassium, chloride, and magnesium. Food allergies and sensitivities can also cause brain fog. For example, people who are sensitive to gluten will sometimes notice that when they eat bread, pasta, or cookies made from wheat flour, they experience brain fog. Another common food sensitivity is dairy products. This is why some people choose to be gluten-free and dairy-free, because they notice improvement in many aspects of their health, including their mental sharpness. Next, our bowels are actually one of our biggest detox pathways. So if you're suffering from constipation and haven't gone in 3 days, this can definitely affect your mental sharpness and cause brain fog. Inflammation in your gut is another big cause of brain fog. Unfortunately, the standard American diet, also known as the SAD diet, has a lot of inflammatory foods. Foods high in refined sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and trans fat, as well as processed foods which are high in food additives and chemicals, can all cause inflammation in the gut. Because of the gut-brain axis, inflammation in your gut can cause inflammation in your brain. We call this neuroinflammation, and it can present as brain fog. Your gut is connected to your brain by the vagus nerve, and a large majority of your brain neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine are actually made in the lining of your gut. This is why we consider the gut to be the second brain. Normally, the lining of your intestines is made by a single layer of cells called enterocytes that are bound together by tight junctions. This creates a protective barrier that prevents food particles, viruses, bacteria, and other pathogens from entering your bloodstream. But if your gut is inflamed, this can cause disruption in the tight junctions. Now, food particles, bacteria, and viruses can readily enter your bloodstream. This is called leaky gut, also known as increased intestinal permeability, and it can cause systemic inflammation that can affect your brain, causing brain fog. I have a whole video dedicated to leaky gut where you can learn more about how to heal your gut, and I'll put the link in the description below. What's fascinating is, similar to leaky gut, the literature is now talking about a condition called leaky brain. Your brain is protected from the rest of your body by a delicate lining called the blood-brain barrier. If you're suffering from leaky gut or have chronic inflammation anywhere in your body, this can affect the permeability of the blood-brain barrier, causing a leaky brain. In leaky brain, your neurons start to produce inflammatory cytokines, and this can definitely affect your mood and cause brain fog. There are also many different types of gut infections that can cause brain fog. This includes dysbiosis, which means an overgrowth of a bad bacteria in your gut microbiome. An overgrowth of yeast, like Candida, can also cause brain fog. If you're suffering from a lot of gas, bloating, or symptoms of IBS, it could be due to a condition called small intestine bacterial overgrowth or small intestine fungal overgrowth. Finally, parasites or an H. pylori infection could also cause brain fog. So if you're having any gut symptoms, it's really important that you have this addressed in order to clear up your brain fog. Now, all of us have probably experienced a carb coma at some point in our lives. Eating a lot of carbs and sugars can make you sleepy and drowsy and definitely contribute to brain fog. But did you know there's a condition where an overgrowth of yeast in the gut microbiome can ferment high-carb foods into alcohol? It's usually caused by an overgrowth of Candida albicans or Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which are types of yeast. This is called Auto-Brewery Syndrome, also known as gut fermentation syndrome. People with this rare condition will actually have a rise in their blood alcohol levels and become intoxicated after eating foods high in carbs. I wanted to mention this syndrome because it really illustrates the powerful role of our gut microbiome in our overall health as well as our brain health. Next, blood sugar imbalances are another big cause of brain fog. If your blood sugar is high, we call this hyperglycemia. Many people with chronic hyperglycemia also suffer from insulin resistance. This is the physiology that can lead to diabetes, and it can also cause brain fog. Other people suffer from hypoglycemia, where their blood sugar drops too low, and this can cause symptoms like fatigue, drowsiness, anxiety, as well as brain fog. Stay tuned because later in this video, I'm going to explain how you can stabilize your blood sugar and get rid of brain fog using your diet. Moving on, now let's talk about viruses. If you have an infection with a virus like a cold, flu, or a COVID infection, these could all cause brain fog. There are many people who experience brain fog that lingers as a long-term sequelae after a COVID infection. This happens because viruses are able to cross the blood-brain barrier and cause inflammation in your brain. Your immune system responds to the virus by releasing a lot of inflammatory cytokines, but unfortunately, this can make brain fog worse. Finally, the COVID virus is known to cause mitochondrial dysfunction. Mitochondria are the energy powerhouses of your cells, including the neurons in your brain. This is why a lot of COVID long haulers experience lingering fatigue as well as brain fog. The good news is later in this video, I'm going to present ways to combat this inflammation and support your mitochondria. Your brain requires several critical nutrients to function optimally. If you're suffering from a nutrient deficiency, this could be contributing to your brain fog. Key nutrients for your brain include omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D3, B vitamins, magnesium, as well as zinc. Now let's move on and talk about hormonal causes of brain fog. So many people are under chronic stress, and this causes their adrenal glands to produce higher levels of a hormone called cortisol. High cortisol can create a vicious cycle because it can make it hard to sleep at night. The problem is if you're suffering from insomnia, your cortisol levels will continue to stay high. Having high cortisol levels can definitely contribute to brain fog. When women go through big hormonal shifts, like pregnancy, where certain hormones skyrocket, or menopause, where there's a sudden decline in hormones, this can also cause brain fog. Hypothyroidism, which means low thyroid hormones, is another common cause of brain fog in both men and women. Our brain can also be affected by toxins, like pollution in the environment, or exposure to heavy metals, like lead or mercury. Harsh cleaning chemicals, pesticides, BPA and phthalates, and even certain hair dyes can also affect the brain and cause brain fog. Next, many people with autoimmune diseases experience brain fog, especially when their disease flares up. This includes Hashimoto's thyroid disease, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, Sjogren's syndrome, scleroderma, and many more. Certain pharmaceutical medications can also cause brain fog. This includes antihistamines, sleep medications, antidepressants, antipsychotics, as well as narcotic pain medications. Also, when people undergo chemotherapy to treat cancer, they often experience what we call chemo brain. This is because the chemotherapy also affects the neurons in the brain, causing brain fog. Next, we have alcohol. Alcohol is known to be a neurotoxin. It also depletes certain B vitamins. It depletes glutathione, which is an antioxidant in your liver. It's also dehydrating and sedating. This is why a lot of people notice that the day after a big party where they're drinking a lot of alcohol, they don't feel as well and have brain fog. Now that we've gone over all the common causes of brain fog, you might be wondering, how can I clear up my brain fog? Great question. Now let's go over the treatment. The first step is to clean up your diet because food has such a powerful impact on your brain. I recommend cutting out all refined sugar, processed foods, and vegetable oils. Cutting out gluten and dairy can make a big difference if you have a sensitivity or allergy. Next, you want to be eating all whole foods with lots of colorful vegetables and fruit. You want to incorporate more good fats that can help your brain, like olive oil, avocado, nuts, and seeds. You also want to incorporate quality proteins like wild salmon, organic chicken, eggs, or meat. Finally, be sure to drink plenty of water because hydration is so important for your brain. So here are some examples of some brain-boosting foods. Here we have wild salmon with vegetables, and remember, wild salmon is a rich source of omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential fatty acids for your brain. Next, we have berries, which are full of antioxidants and polyphenols. For breakfast, an omelet made with lots of vegetables is a great option. Egg yolks are a rich source of choline, which helps your brain make more acetylcholine, which is an essential neurotransmitter. You also want to be eating a lot of dark leafy greens and incorporating good fats like avocados, olive oil, and walnuts. Another important tip is to make sure your meals are really balanced. You want to have protein, fat, and fiber at every meal because this will really help stabilize your blood sugar. As you make these healthy changes in your diet and start eating better, you're going to notice that your brain is going to work better as well, and you're going to be able to think more clearly and feel sharper. Another helpful tip to clear up brain fog is to do intermittent fasting. This is where you eat 2 meals a day within an 8-hour window, and you fast for the other 16 hours of the day. The reason fasting helps with brain fog is it allows your body to focus on cleaning up all the garbage within your cells and reduce inflammation. This process is called autophagy, which means self-eating. To learn more about autophagy, please check out my video, which I'll link in the description below. Many of my patients do intermittent fasting on a regular basis and notice such an improvement in their mental sharpness. The Paleo diet or the clean keto diet are both excellent when it comes to clearing up brain fog. That's because these diets eliminate carbohydrates from grains, so they work great for metabolic conditions as well as autoimmune diseases. What's interesting is if you are in ketosis, one of the ketones called beta-hydroxybutyrate is actually superfuel for the brain. This is why the keto diet has been proven effective for a lot of neurological conditions, And to learn more about the keto diet, please check out my video, which I'll link in the description below. Now let's go over some lifestyle changes that can also help your brain. I recommend regular cardiovascular exercise, and it can be any exercise that increases your heart rate, because this increases blood circulation to your brain. So if you're feeling foggy, go outside and go for a brisk walk. Another reason to be outside is to connect with nature and sunlight. Our brains take a lot of cues from the sun. It can influence your mood as well as your circadian rhythm, which is your sleep-wake cycle. Quality sleep is essential for optimal cognitive function, and while you're sleeping, your lymphatic system clears toxins from the brain. If you're struggling with insomnia, please watch my video on sleep, where you can learn 17 natural tips to improve your sleep quality. Spending time with your friends and loved ones, and it can even be a pet, can also help to clear up brain fog and improve your mood and cognitive function. Another great tip to clear up brain fog is to declutter your environment, which includes your desk, your computer, as well as your room. Now you might be wondering, what supplements help the brain? Great question. Let's go over it. Omega-3 fish oil has essential fatty acids for optimal brain functioning. It's made from anchovies, which are a small fish, to ensure there's no mercury. You can take anywhere from 1 to 3 capsules per day to support brain health. Next, we have methyl B complex, which is the stress vitamin that's excellent for focus, energy, and mood. Vitamin D3 with K2 is the superstar vitamin, and getting your levels optimized can really help your brain functioning as well as your mood. Magnesium is the miracle mineral that's essential for so many biochemical pathways in your cells. It's best taken at bedtime, and it really improves the quality of your sleep. Magnesium also helps you to move your bowels, and it can alleviate anxiety. It also helps with detox pathways in your liver. Other helpful supplements include Turmeric Pro, which helps reduce inflammation in your body, CoQ10, which is an antioxidant that helps the mitochondria in your cells, glutathione, which is another powerful antioxidant and detoxifier, as well as zinc, which is an essential trace mineral. A healthy gut is essential for a healthy brain. Digestive Enzyme Pro helps you to better break down your food to alleviate any gas or bloating. You may also want to take a high-quality probiotic, like our Probiotic 100 billion or our Probiotic 225 billion. To heal any inflammation in your gut, such as leaky gut, you can take L-glutamine powder or IgG Guard, which is immunoglobulins. Finally, to treat gut infections like dysbiosis, candida overgrowth, or SIBO, you may need to take some herbal antimicrobials, such as berberine pro, oregano oil, allicin, or candida support. To learn more about my protocols and how to treat these conditions, please check out my videos, which I'll link in the description below. Now let me introduce you to my patient Brenda. When I first met Brenda, she was suffering from a lot of brain fog. When I asked her details about her gut health, she mentioned she was having a lot of bloating and constipation. Her diet consisted of a lot of fast food, and she had a sweet tooth, so she would have desserts quite often. Brenda wasn't getting any exercise, and her sleep wasn't great. Her blood work showed that she was really deficient in vitamin D because her level was only 12, and she was deficient in B vitamins because she had an elevated homocysteine of 14. Homocysteine is an inverse marker of your B vitamins, and ideal homocysteine is 6. Brenda's treatment involved first changing her diet. I switched her over to a clean, whole foods diet and had her eliminate all fast food, processed food, and refined sugar. Next, I started Brenda on some key supplements, like magnesium at bedtime to help move her bowels and improve the quality of her sleep. I also gave her vitamin D3 with K2, methyl B complex, and omega-3 fish oil. Finally, I recommended that she do 30 minutes of brisk walking every day. Brenda's bloating continued to be a problem, so we tested her and diagnosed her with SIBO, which is small intestine bacterial overgrowth. I treated Brenda with my herbal protocol for SIBO, and I have a whole video that covers this protocol in detail, and I'll put a link in the description below. When I saw Brenda 3 months later, she was feeling absolutely amazing. Her bloating was gone and her bowels were now regular. Most importantly, her brain fog was gone, and she said her mind felt so sharp. Her blood work also showed that her vitamin D level was now optimized at 75, and her homocysteine had come down to 7. I was absolutely thrilled to see Brenda's transformation, and her case shows that brain fog is treatable once we address the root causes. Let's review the key points. Hydration and electrolytes can make a big difference in your mental sharpness. Having stable blood sugar is essential for healing brain fog. Don't forget the gut-brain axis, and remember, the gut is the second brain, so gut issues can often present as brain fog. Chronic stress and high cortisol levels can cause brain fog. If you're deficient in key nutrients or exposed to toxins from the environment, this can also affect your brain. Getting quality sleep and regular exercise, as well as taking some key supplements, can make a big difference in your mental clarity. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Be sure to post all your questions and comments below. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day.